that before you sign it. Okay, I'm going to try and do a performance talk in 5 minutes, so wish me luck. So by performance we're talking about, in this case, page load. So this is an idea of what page load looks like. It's your general kind of waterfall picture of it that you see in the kind of network tab in DevTools. So it starts off with requesting the HTML page, the document itself, and then all of the associated assets that the page references. So 2 ways that I'll be focusing on how you can speed up your page load, referencing that model, is by having less page weight, less stuff to download overall, and fewer HTTP requests, so requesting less files. So I think these days this is the biggest saving. You're saving kind of all the negotiation time that has to go along with it, and DNS lookups possibly, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's maybe one to focus on a bit more these days than it used to be. So first way we can do this is by pimping the htaccess file. The number one resource I think for this is the version of the file in the HTML5 boilerplate. A lot of good stuff in there, and a few things, performance things in there that are worth taking a look at. So first one is gzip. So basically the idea is that the server zips up the file, compresses it, sends it to you, your browser unzips it, and it's less travelling over the network. So this is kind of a server configuration for that. You can do it on different ways, but I think taking this, copying it straight into your htaccess file, and you should be good to go with gzip. So that'll save you some kilobytes there. Another way is with cache expires. So this is basically the server telling the browser to hold on to all these files for a long period of time. So these ones are set to a year, a lot of them, for CSS and that kind of thing. So setting long cache expires in the headers. One thing that does bring up is if your files are getting cached to a year and you want to make an update to them, you have to try and bust that cache. So there's a couple of ways that you see it doing this, and one of them is putting like a query string onto your files with a version number. It's been said that that's not such a good way to do it, mostly because some proxies won't cache a file with that. So that's basically a node kind of between a server and a user that might have that file cached. So this version might have an issue with it. This version is a lot kind of better for that. So what you have here that comes out of the htaccess file from HTML5 boilerplate is basically it tells your server to kind of ignore this bit here. So ignore that number there and serve it as if that wasn't there. So it'll still serve the same file from the server. And then you've kind of got to tell your WordPress installation to serve out the files with those numbers in. And you could go and add that number every time you update a file, but we don't want to be doing that. So we're going to automate this. So the number we're going to put in there is the last modified time of the file. So every time you save that file, that value will change. And kind of this is a way to do it in your functions file. So basically it'll get the path to that file from within your directory, get the time for it, and then uses a regex to kind of put it in there. So it's a nice automated way of doing that. And this is another big one. So squishing your files together and taking all of the comments and the spacing and that out of it is a really nice way of doing it. So this is what I generally serve as part of the website. We'll have one CSS file that we'll have squished together. I usually use Sass, so I'll CodeKit, output it all into one CSS file. And then I'll have an initial JavaScript. Some things have to load in the head, such as like modernizer and that kind of thing. And everything else will load in this bottom file. So I've got 3 assets for all of my JavaScript and CSS. Yeah, I think that's about all I'm going to cover in this time, but hope it was helpful.